everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Your host, Frank Holder, here with you. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. And as we wait to some of the comedians to join us, let me drop in. The first one up is comedian Fig. What's happening, Captain? How you doing?
I'm the first one? God, dog, where everybody at?
No. I'm the first one bringing you in. I'm bringing you in. Let me bring in my man, Mike Shine. Mike, what's cracking, bro? How you doing, bro?
What up, fellas? What's good with you?
Yeah. What up, Mike?
How was your weekend, guys? How was the comedy shows?
Oh, man, good. Man, listen, I had a great show, but the crowd was small, man. I hate little crowds, man. But you know what? One thing that I learned in my career is no matter how big the crowd is or how small the crowd is, you still give them everything.
Yeah, you have to do that after the Mike. How was your weekend?
The weekend was good. Shout out to everybody came out to the Punchline Comedy Club all weekend. Shout out to Teray. There's a young man named Anthony Mora. Fig might know him. He always works at the Comedy Cell. I want to shout him out. Did a great job. All the comedians did a great job, but I want to shout him out. He's from Detroit, but lives in New York now. So big shout to him. We had a good time. It was a good weekend, y'all. Good weekend.
Talent just joined us too, bro. How you doing, sir? How's your weekend?
My weekend, B, let me tell you something. I almost quit the show. It was so good.
Damn.
My weekend was so good. I said, man, don't even screw Box Seats, man. Go do something, have some fun. So that didn't work. So I'm here.
Yo, I wanted to ask you before we jump in the sports thing, man. I'm gonna ask you this to see, man. What you think about this Monique and DL Hughley situation? Because I study comedy a lot and everything else. I do it all the time. I didn't post nothing about it. I mean, I did, but I didn't post an official story on my website about it. And I'm at a crossroads because I hate doing stuff like that because it's an ugly thing. You know what I mean? I understand. I see what happened, because I dived into it. I see what happened. But T, talk to me, man. Before we even dive into sports, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, clearly, I hate to say it, because me and Mo tighter than tight as you can get in this thing, man. Started together and all that good stuff, but clearly, there's something going on with her.
Yeah.
It nowhere in this story should either one of them be attacking each other. This is not a comic problem. This is, DL was right. This is either you need to talk to your management, you know what I mean, that didn't handle what they were supposed to handle, or the promoter, whatever. This is a promoter situation. It don't make no sense to me, rooter to the tutor. Like, how you got to beef with him because he ended up getting what he got, what he negotiated for, and on your end, supposedly you didn't. All the comics on here tell you, dude, I'm not fighting you to go last. If my money didn't change, I'm glad I'm up early. If it's me, Fig, and Mike on the show, and I get there thinking I'm the headline, and they go, no, Mike got to close out tonight. You think I'm arguing? I'm going up early. I get to go drink early.
Facts.
Mike, where's your take?
I think it's unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate for the people who paid their money for the ticket to then I'm not on either one of their sides, but for you to rant, I really am. Like, DL has been very nice to me, so maybe I am a little biased. But to go and rant and go at him like that and say things like, your wife is sucking a coward's, thing, and it's just super unprofessional. And we're putting our dirty laundry in front of people that don't need to see this dirty laundry. And the people who paid the money, you kind of almost try to sabotage the show. I'm not picking sides. I just think it's unfair to the people who are paying a lot of money to go see a show. Now, if it was the promoter's fault, then the promoter should be dealt with. And, the white comics would have had their lawyers talk to each other's lawyers, and they would have had, they would have settled it with damages or whatever. It just gets real ugly. And then when you start putting contracts and you start posting contracts on social media, like that, it just starts looking ridiculous at that point. And they're both super talented, and I wish it would have been handled differently. And I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I ain't done some stuff on stage that I don't regret. But that was something that I think we could have done without.
Yeah, in fact, you get the last word on this, and then we can jump into sports.
To me, it was bigger than comedy. I think it stems back from when she was going through that whole thing with Lee Daniels and Oprah, Tyler Perry, the whole thing when they was coming at her, trying to get her deal with Netflix. And he spoke out against her. And one of the things that I saw in the video is that she said, "You came to my house, you ate my food, you sat at my table, we broke bread. And then when the pressure was on, you took sides against me." And I think it was much bigger than the show. It was much bigger than contracts. It was personal. She felt like he took a shot at her. Now I'm a fan of DL Hughley and the GED moment and all that stuff, like big time. And I know Monique, worked with her several times when she had a club in Baltimore. I'm a fan. But through this whole thing, I've been riding with Monique the whole way because I don't see nothing she did. I don't see nothing she did wrong. I'm talking about going back. I think, like everybody said, we could have did without, the whole thing on stage and stuff like that. But as far as her fighting against the system and getting what she deserves, I've been with her 100%.
See, we could go on and talk about this for a long time. Maybe we could do a live and talk about this later amongst ourselves. I don't want to infringe because I have a couple of things I want to say about some of the stuff you guys said too, especially about the promoters and all that stuff. But let's jump into the sports because this is the show. The show's called Box Seat. So T, I'm gonna throw this out to you first, bro. First up, I don't know. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the NBA in a second, but I don't know if you saw this over the weekend. Gabe Kapler, who's the Giants manager and everything else, he was just protesting from the Uvalde shooting. He's protesting and talking about he was not going to do stuff about with the national anthem and everything else. And then when Memorial Day came up, he had decided that he was going to stand and honor the flag and everything else. But what I've noticed during this time, and I want to see what your take is that it's not being held as if it was Kaepernick or this same type of situation. Like nobody's saying anything about him protesting the flag. Nobody's saying anything about him not standing up for the flag. It doesn't seem like it's the same flag and everything else. Do you think it's because of the situation with Uvalde versus what's going on? Like, do you see any differences, or is it apple versus oranges? What's your take on you hearing about this? If this is the first time you're hearing about this, T, talk to me.
I mean, it's definitely not going to be the same. Never expect the same after the first explosion. The first is always the explosion of the situation. In other words, if there's a locked gate and I bust through the gate, everybody behind me is just swinging open and closing the gate. They didn't have to bust through. Kaepernick was the bust, so he was the explosion. So everybody that come after that, it's kind of an afterthought. And look how many years we done sat through now. So that argument is not as loud as it was in the beginning because we've had it 1,000 times. So all it's going to do is it's going to get a little wind, it's going to get mentioned, talked about, but to have the same oomph, if you will, of a Kaepernick taking a knee and all that, you're never going to have that again. You're never going to get that because that was the groundbreaking. Like you're never going to get excited about a black baseball player no more because after Jackie Robinson, he was the explosion, and then everything else. Yeah, you'll mention it. You'll mention it because it happened, but I don't expect it to be the same big explosion. And you're right when it comes to the back-to-back tragedies that we're dealing with right now. We got to keep in mind within 1 week. Mass shootings in 1 week. Buffalo, then Texas, like back to back. Like we've had them, but how many times have we seen them back to back or so close together like this?
Yeah, and it was one that was even averted too, because they got this guy who had a gun right before he even shot anybody else up too. So, Fig, what's your take on this Gabe Kapler? I know you're also known as Fig X, but what's your take on this when you hear about a baseball player, basically saying he's protesting the national anthem, basically doing the exact same thing? You know what I mean? What's your take?
Well, first off, I don't know what Talent talk about. He ain't gonna celebrate no baseball players. That's a bull. That's a straight bull, Talent. I don't know what's wrong with you. We love baseball players. No, I mean, no, serious. I mean, look, Tim Tebow took a knee before Kaepernick, and nothing happened to him. This guy taking a knee and protesting the national anthem, and nothing happened to him. The big deal is that it's a black thing. That's the truth of the matter is we get treated in America differently than other people. That's it in a nutshell, period. We get treated differently across the board. Entertainment, sports, regular life, we just get treated differently. And it has everything to do with the complexion of our skin.
It's so blatant to me sometimes, Mike, that it's ugly. So, Mike, what's your take on it? Because to me, it's very, very blatant with this situation. What's your take?
Fig is absolutely right. Tim Tebow took a knee. There was no problem. Colin Kaepernick took a knee because black people were getting killed by police officers and still getting killed by police officers. He got blackballed. I just love the fact that this country sits there and says how much they care about the kids and how much kids are supposed to be the number one thing in this country. Not one sporting event was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Not one. And nobody even thought about it. Nobody even flinched. Nobody even brought it up that this country should be in mourning when 19 kids get murdered in school. Not one person even mentioned that this country should be in mourning. We went along with our celebrations and did everything we normally do. Please stop telling me you give up about the kids. Please stop telling me that lie.
Mike, but how about this? We celebrated Memorial Day. Memorial Day. Like, you know what I mean? Remembering people that died in war, but we can't remember the kids who just got murdered in their own classroom.
Man, you're trying to open up the door. You're opening up a Pandora's box. I see your point, but you open up a Pandora's box because that conversation.
Who is Pandora, by the way? I'm tired of hearing about it.
Pandora was I forgot.
Exactly.
Greek mythology type of thing. That's what it was. But don't try to go there.
But the Pandora's box, and I just want to say this because I'm on my soapbox. So get mad if you want to get mad. The cops didn't go into the school because they scared they were gonna get shot. Then they killed black people because they scared they're gonna get shot. Dog, like which one y'all want?
At least they're consistent.
Yeah, they consistent. Like
they're consistently scared they're gonna get shot.
Yeah, I'm just happy that firemen don't go, yo, I'm not going in that house because I'm scared I'm gonna get burned.
Right. Thank God.
How about that?
Thank God.
How about that?
Mike, great point, Mike. Hilarious. All right, so we'll throw this out to you, Talent. This is gonna be another story that's gonna make you go, one of them things make you go, All right, so here's one. The Sydney from Australia, the Sydney Daily Telegraph reported that WNBA star Liz Cambage basically allegedly called the Nigerian team monkeys and tell them to go back to your third world country during an incident that began when she hit one of the players with the hard elbow during some games that just happened a couple of weeks ago. Came out that Nigerian players want her suspended for the upcoming USA trials and stuff like that. So they're really upset because she's using racial slurs and everything else. So with that being said, It's not like it's a big surprise here that nobody's doing nothing. It's just that now it's up in our face. What's your take on this?
Oh, absolutely. Should be suspended the whole thing, like not one or two, but the whole. You should a whole year out because this is beyond racist. The elbow. Now you could call somebody a monkey, but you can't throw an elbow too. Because that's how in certain countries they eat monkey brain. That's how you open the monkey brain with the elbow. So there's a double innuendo there. She know exactly what they were doing. Monkey and the elbow. Oh, that's straight Mongolian. Everybody know that.
So monkey elbow. Hey, everybody who's watching the show, let me give a quick shout out to all the folks who are watching Box Seats, man. We really, really appreciate y'all doing that, man. Fig, talk to me, man. Tell me what you think. You're the exit here, so what's your take?
All I want to know is, I think there was a group called Escape, and it was like, who can I run to? And I think about this whole thing. It's like, yo, where can we go, man? Like, where can black people go where we can just live our lives without feeling the brunt of racist attacks, man? I can't believe you can call a black person a monkey in 2022 and then throw an elbow. Like Talent said, everybody knows that if you're going to call a person a monkey, you got to throw bananas at them. This is ridiculous. Where's the bananas? This is bananas that there was no bananas because when they're playing soccer and they making the monkey noise, like moop, 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 they throw bananas on the field. This woman doesn't know the protocol, and that's why it's so offensive.
Hilarious. Mike Shaw, what's your take, bro?
I'll say suspend her for the year, like Talent said, but I'm childish. I need her to go into that locker room by herself and repeat what she said.
That's childish.
Go into the locker room and nobody gets to do anything. No charges get to be pressed. I need you to go into the locker room with that same energy and say it to the team in there and let them handle what they got to handle for 25 minutes and then get suspended.
Hey, this is a reenactment going in the locker room. Y'all only beat us because y'all monkeys.
Now.
That's the reenactment.
So-and-so is unavailable for the next game.
All right, y'all are crazy.
It's unbelievable how racist this world is. It's unbelievable how scared this universe is of black people, yo. It's unbelievable how the fear of a black planet has never been so true, boy.
Yeah, that's why that album did so well. All right, so let me throw this out to you two. We're gonna get ready to jump into the NBA, man, and get this whole thing jumped off, man. So the Celtics ended up beating Miami. When we last was on the air, we was waiting for Game 6 was Friday. And obviously Game 6 they lost, and then having Game 7. The Celtics ended up winning. My take was obviously being a Celtics fan, I'm very, very happy. But there's some things that happened that happened after that. One of the things is Kyle Lowry said a couple of things. It basically said that the Miami Heat, he had the season he had with Miami Heat and everything else was completely wasted because they didn't get to the finals and basically win. And he's upset. He has some issues with Miami. He's upset that they didn't get, further along. And he may not be back next year. There's a big question mark about that. First question up for you is, what do you think about that Miami Heat Boston Celtics series? And number two, what do you think about Kyle Lowry's statement that he made to the press after the game?
Well, first of all, the series was awesome. The NBA got what they wanted. They got to stretch these games out, these series out, to lead exactly as we see. You got 3 days rest, time to reboot, get ready for the finals. So in that aspect, we all love to see competitive games. So on that aspect, the series was dope. On the other flip side of Kyle Lowry is like, I don't understand how these guys are thinking that. And I know you're good players, your top 20 players or whatever. I don't know how they're thinking that automatically I go to XYZ team and I'm supposed to win. Somebody got to lose, right? But that don't mean you're going to this, I don't know if I'm going to be here and I expected to win and all that. Here's the reality is, Mr. Lowry, is where you going to go. You better re-sign. If everybody going to re-sign, you better re-sign and do it again. Watch tape like you're supposed to. Come back better. Correct your mistakes. I'm tired of these microwave days where nobody is like, people don't trust the process.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's a good point.
I blame Mike. Don't hate me. I blame LeBron James because that team hopping and super team building. This is where we are now. Everybody think they can go and have it automatically in season 1 or season 2. Oh, I'm good. He got 2 good players. I'm gonna go over there. We're gonna get a chip. No, you're gonna get your ass bust if you go up against a team that plays well together and consistent, and you lose. Go like everybody else to the drawing board, check your X's and O's, see what you did wrong, what you could do better, come back, be better. Trust the process. Team hopping is not it.
Fig, what's your take on it? What do you think about the series and what you think about the statement that Kyle Lowry made about basically his season being wasted?
Look, any series that goes to 7 games is amazing. This was an amazing series, man. They fought tooth and nail, back and forth. You just didn't know what to expect from one game to the next. They're both 2 physical teams. They play very aggressive. They're both staunch defenders. Both teams, man. It was highly entertaining. But the thing that I felt about Kyle Lowry is, why would you expect that you would just automatically go and win? I mean, you got injured yourself. You wasn't in the greatest shape in the world, and you got injured. Kyle Lowry is that he plays well, but he don't. If you look at Kyle Lowry, he looks like he can lose 10, 15 pounds to be in better shape to play basketball. You understand what I'm saying? Especially at an advanced age. He ain't no spring chicken. He's not in his 20s. He's mid to upper. He's between 35 and 40 years old. If you think that you could just walk onto a team and win a championship, Kyle Lowry, at your age and your shape, you're sadly mistaken. They need to go on that LeBron, Chris Paul diet where they eating vegetables or whatever it is, that vegan diet, and he needs to cut at least 10 to 15 pounds to be in better shape to be able to help his team to win.
The Celtic fan in me can't stand his flopping. It drives me nuts. Mike, what's your take on the series? What you think about the series, whether you liked it or not, and what's your take on the statement by Kyle Lowry?
I love the series, and I'm not. This is what happens when reporters ask these questions 15 minutes after you just got crushed.
Right.
Like, everybody thinks people are going to be rational. Like, you just lost game 7. Like, you're not, like, I bet you if you ask him the same question in a few days, he'll have a different answer. Listen, I will say one thing. I will never disrespect Jimmy Butler ever again in my life. So I apologize for everything I've ever said about Jimmy Butler. Because, dog, he did everything he could to try and win that game. And they were trying to complain about him taking that three-pointer at the end where he could have taken it to the basket. Dog, he played every second of the game. Jimmy Butler was like, if this goes into overtime, I have nothing left.
Right.
If he hit that three-pointer, that was game.
He was like, I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose right now because ain't nothing left in the tank. But I think if they gave Kyle Lowry a little bit more time and they gave these players some time to cool off, they wouldn't give such rash answers. Right. I'm sure he regrets saying that because that's an idiotic thing to say that I got to rethink if I'm going to come back and re-sign. I'm sitting there going like, dog, you went to game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like Talon said, common sense will tell you, you guys ain't too far away from being able to make it to the finals next year.
Yeah.
Frank, I just need to ask Mike a question, man. Mike, your skin looks amazing. Pause. I need to know what you're using for moisturizer, man, because you're glowing today.
Well, you know what it is? That's why I'm not a thug, because you can't fight in the day and have Noxzema on your face at night. So, you know what it is?
All right, so let's jump into the next question. The next thing is that obviously the Los Angeles Lakers made a huge hire over the weekend. They hired assistant Darvin Ham from the Milwaukee Bucks. It looks like Rodney Perry's joining. Let me throw Rodney Perry in the building. Rodney Perry's in the building. What's up, Rodney Perry? You want to talk about the Miami Heat Celtics series? You want to jump into this Lakers? You came in right in time. We can really talk about this Lakers hire. What do you want to do first? Can't hear you, Rodney Perry.
You on mute, Rodney.
Check.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. We can move on to the next thing.
Okay, so T, you up first, bro. I'm gonna throw it to you, man. Darvin Ham was hired as the Lakers head coach, bro. Did you like the hire? What's your thought process on the hire? The Lakers hiring him because he wasn't the best player in the world, but he definitely was one of those players who get in your face. You know what I mean? He was one of those.
But you know what's funny? History kind of showed us that the non-best players end up being the best executives or coaches. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I've known, like, from entertainment, some of the people who had the lesser careers got more of information to share with you than the people who may have gotten lucky and gotten first. So I like the hire. I think it was a dope hire for LA. Anytime you hire a coach, I compare it to hires I don't agree with. Like we look at how Brooklyn Nets fell short. Look at the coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't put the work in like the Darvin Hams and these other guys sitting on as assistants and different coaching jobs for years, season after season, stuff like that. Steve Nash, he just stopped playing last year. I like the hire, man. I like it.
So you like the hire, Fig? I'm throwing it to you next. What's your take on the hire, bro? What you think?
Your talent. The reason why players that don't play that much do so well as coaches because they spend a lot of time on the bench next to the coach, so they learn.
Facts.
Oh man, listen. I don't know that much about Darvin Ham, but I love ham. I like spice ham. I like Virginia ham. You know what I mean? I like ham. But I think that if Darvin Ham can get some collard greens and potato salad to sit next to him, I think they got a good chance. I think the Lakers will win. I love ham. I love ham hocks. All kind of ham. All
right, so
Big is hungry.
Yeah, he sounds like he's hungry. Mike, what's
where's
your
the black eyed peas?
Mike, what's your take of Darvin Ham being hired? Because supposedly LeBron signed off for it and everything else. And the funny thing is that like he supposedly is going to be more in your face than their previous head coach, and they seem to want that to happen. What's your take?
Oh, all in your face is all. He's going to be all in. It's so overrated. The fact that I like is that he was an assistant and that he paid his dues. Remember when Jason Kidd first got the job right after he got off the court? He failed. Then he took some time. Then he came back. Then he was the assistant with the Lakers and helped out Giannis in Milwaukee when he was with Milwaukee. It takes time to be a head coach, and I think this guy's paid his dues. I think it's a good hire until they don't make the playoffs, and we'll be killing them.
Yeah, that's how that goes. Rodney Perry, you're a Laker fan. You like the hire?
I do. I like it a lot, man. I mean, of course, I wanted to see my man get his coaching thing back together, man. The New York Knicks,
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. Thank you, Mike Sean. I want to see Mark Jackson really get some love, and I thought the hot stage of the Lakers would have been a great place to do it, to kind of for him to redeem himself. But other than that, I think Ham is dope, man. Ham is going to be a great guy to come in there, and I've been watching a lot of commentary on where the Lakers went wrong, and they definitely need that type of coach that's willing to tell them about themselves. So we shall see.
All right, so T, I forgot to ask. I'm gonna jump back into the Golden State Celtics thing real fast. Obviously we want to give our picks and everything else. What's your take on the Golden State Celtics, Boston Celtics, who now have both advanced to the NBA Finals and everything else? What's your take on the series? What do you look to expect to see? Who's your pick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? What's your take?
Well, I think we're gonna get a good, decent series, but with the NBA hands on it, it's gonna make it look even greater. Because here's where the advertisers, here's where the money pours in at. So if this series was going to go 5 games, look for it to go 7 now, because they're going to put their hands all over this. Not that these ain't 2 great teams, but in a real world, I'm taking Golden State in 4 or 5 games in a real world. But in this world, I'll take them in 6, 7 games. So I think Golden State's, they're clicking at the right time. This wasn't an easy place to get to for Boston, as smooth as it was for Golden State. And we got to keep our eyes open, because I'm telling you, we're going to see some returns of Clay that we've been waiting for a whole season. You're going to get 1 or 2 of those Clay games. You know what I mean? You're going to get some superhero diving moves from your boy, Draymond. You already know what Steph brings to the table. You're going to get some ooh and ah, and he shot from there and there. And then after school, I take a dip in the pool, which is really off the wall. Watch pool have some breakout stuff happen too. So I got Golden State in the real world 5 games, but I'm gonna go with the NBA. I'll bet about 6, 7 games.
All right, Fig, what's your take on this preview of this series? I already know you got Golden State. Everybody, you've been saying this at the beginning of the season.
Right.
What do we expect? What you expect?
I expect a tough series. And what talent, to allude to what Talent is saying, it really depends on how the game is officiated. If it's officiated extremely aggressive, I see it going 7. If the refs call it tight, I think it'll go 6. The thing that I don't like about the refs sort of putting their fingerprints on the game is that it opens the doors for injury. Like, the longer you play, the more opportunity you have for somebody to become injured, or a key player to become injured. And that's on both sides of the ball. We know that the Celtics play aggressive defense and that the Golden State Warriors play really good defense, but they both could be aggressive if the refs just allow it to go that way. So I hope it's not too aggressive, but I'm looking for a great series, because these are both two juggernauts.
Okay. Mike Sean, what's your take on the series? What you expect to see, and who's your pick?
Boston got a shot. I mean, Boston defensively, they have the athletes to interrupt the ball movement. I mean, when Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Robert Williams, those guys really, they play D. Like that is what they do, and they got the offensive firepower to fight back. If I had to bet money on it, I'd probably take Golden State. But I think this series is going to be a lot tighter than what people think. And if these refs let them play, and they let Jason Tatum and Brown put their hands on Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry and stuff like that. And another thing, Golden State ain't going to get away with those offensive rebounds against Boston.
Right.
So that, and you cannot let Golden State get offensive rebounds. You can't give them another shot at anything the way them guys shoot. If I had to bet, I'd bet Golden State. Wouldn't be shocked if the Celtics pulled it off in 7.
So that's 3 for Golden State. Rodney Perry, what's your take on it, bro?
Let's make it 4, man. I'm not betting against Steph Curry for no reason. I like the Boston Celtics. I think they're and let me pre-pause this. They're long, they're lean, and these are guys that really come to play, man. But I think that they have these lapses in scoring. They have lapses where they go quarters without scoring, and you just can't do that against Golden State. We're looking at them on the defensive side of the ball, but I think their offensive power, I think it will be diminished against Golden State, because Golden State is a pretty defensive squad as well. They play team defense, team offense. I think Golden State is just a better team.
Okay, so there's 4 for the Golden State. For the record, obviously you all know I'm going for the Celtics, and I can give a lot of reasons why I think they're going to win.
Want to bet?
Why, Frank? Let us know.
Hey, Frank.
Can I get my 20 back? Can I get my 20 back?
I don't care what public school you go to. You don't have to eat the free lunch. You can pack your own lunch.
So why you say I'm eating the free lunch, T? Why am I eating?
Because you keep saying, well, obviously, because you're a Boston fan, don't mean you have to go with them right now. Like, you can pack your own lunch.
Okay, I'm gonna unpack my lunch and tell you all why I think Boston's going to win. Besides the length and everything else, the Boston Celtics played them twice this year. The first time they played them, people aren't mentioning, they had 5 stars out with COVID, and they still almost won that game. The second time they played them, they were beating them by 35, and they ended up still winning by 15 and 20. And they came in. It was a completely different team. In 5 years, when the Celtics have played Golden State under Steve Kerr, the Celtics have a winning record of 9-5. The last 2 years, the Celtics have beaten them 6 out of 6. They're 6-2. Like the Celtics have solved that.
None of those.
They have a good matchup defensively. They really do.
Can I finish? The Celtics. I was about to say the Celtics match up really well.
Really do.
They really well. Their length is not just at one position; it's at all 5 positions. You put in Grant Williams and Robert Williams and Al Horford with the 2 J's. It's going to be a different series. I think, obviously being a Celtics fan, I think they're going to shock a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people ain't going to agree with me, but that's why they play.
I mean, we're picking the game to go 7 games, so you're not saying that they're going to get swept or nothing like that.
I think Boston's going to get him in 6.
And we haven't even mentioned the fact that Marcus Smart is another amazing defensive player. Like, they got a lot of defense to compete with this offense. It's going to be a real good series, y'all.
But aren't they injured? Aren't they injured though, Mike Sean?
Well, they're going to have time. They're going to have time to get back.
And everybody keeps forgetting that when Golden State just got out of a series when they played Memphis and everything else, and Memphis was injured, and Memphis had a great defense, Memphis could have beat them too. I mean, Golden State is Golden State. The Celtics are the Celtics, but the East versus West is 2 different teams to me.
Bro, you sound like that general in Independence Day. He was wrong.
Okay, well, we'll see. That's why
he was wrong. They had to go off book to kill those aliens.
We'll see.
Hey, you go with all the stats. In 1984, they took 2 buckets of water. None of that matters.
I didn't just go with stats. I went with why I saw.
You did. You went to the stats of the 2 times they played this season. You went to over 5 years. None of that matters right now.
Okay, you're right. But I also saw them play the Golden State twice. I saw them play.
The main reason why it don't matter, talent? I'm going to tell you why it don't matter. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter. Klay Thompson has been getting healthier and healthier this entire season. This is his first season back. And that is the X factor. Klay Thompson has been he's been going along, and he's been gradually getting his basketball legs, and he's been getting better and better every series. That is the X factor that nobody is factoring in. Klay Thompson The Klay Thompson of the regular season is not the same Klay Thompson in the playoffs.
And that Klay Thompson has to play defense.
He does. He already
admitted himself he ain't the same defensive player.
You really don't have to play defense, Mike. They admitted. Here's the thing. First of all, Grant is garbage. Let's face that. The Grant kid on Boston.
Grant Williams.
Garbage, trash, straight trash, straight Tuesday morning pickup, trash. You don't have to be that aggressive. Rodney just said a key thing. When Rodney said the problem with Boston, as good as they are, they have these spurts where they can't score. You cannot do that against Golden State. They run away with the game entirely. And this is the finals, Frank. One thing we know as sports fans, we never compare regular season to the playoffs and the finals. Those levels change 3 times. There's regular season, playoff goes up another level, and the finals goes up to the ultimate level. And then your star player, come on, that two times in the classroom when they took attendance, he was absent.
Let's not forget the Celtics just played Brooklyn. They just played Milwaukee. They just played Miami to get to the finals. They have been playing defense and against defensive teams the entire time. These boys are battle tested, but y'all can overlook them if you want.
Golden State is not missing any of their players, any of their key players. They're not missing any of them. Steph is there. Clay is there. Draymond is there. Poole is there. They ain't missing nobody.
I love it. Y'all picked the Celtics when it was Brooklyn and Celtics. Y'all picked Brooklyn. When it was Bucks and the Celtics, y'all picked the Bucks. When it was the Heat versus Celtics, except for talent picked the Celtics. Roddy was so forth. Y'all picked against them. I love it because at the end of the day, when the stars align, I think they're going to do. Go ahead, Rodney. You got the floor. What's up?
Yeah, I first of all, since you're excited about you guys, let's give me that $20 back.
Oh, yeah, I definitely am. Yeah, that's my boys.
I just want to make sure it'll be clear. That's $20 on the Celtics winning.
The one thing I will say, Golden State, this is the first time where Steph, Jason Tatum, Thompson, Jaylen Brown, Draymond, Marcus Smart. This is an even series. This is going to go 7, y'all. And listen, I hate the refs too. But defensively, yes, Boston can get cold, but they can also make you cold. They can also stop you on the defensive end. Still picking Golden State. I'm just saying this is going 7, and this could be classic. This could be a classic series.
I think it will be too. Honestly, I think it would be. I love this discussion too, because honestly, a lot of people, they got who they got. So now, next up, man, I'm gonna throw.
Hey, Frank, real quick. It's funny how you let us go long when it comes to the Celtics.
Of course. I let y'all go in ham on it, of course. I want y'all to go in.
You gonna cut the comedian talk, but we went long with the Celtics, boy.
Ain't that a damn shame? But you know what? Y'all could host any day you want to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can host any day you want to.
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta go take the ball? Oh, you gonna take the basketball? We can't play now. That's what you gonna do, Frank? That's what you gonna do. It's my ball. You can host if you want.
That's hilarious, yo.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this out to you, man, because I saw something literally about an hour before we jumped on the air, man. I thought this was huge. The Miami Heat is talking to Utah Jazz right now to get Donovan Mitchell, to offer Donovan Mitchell a draft pick for Donovan Mitchell and Tyler Hero. So that's where they at right now.
A draft pick and Tyler Hero.
Yeah, so Donovan Mitchell going to Miami Heat for Tyler Hero. What's your take on Tyler Hero possibly switching teams with them, with Utah and Donovan Mitchell going in? You think that'd be a big difference? That's an upgrade for them? What you think?
First of all, this is disrespectful. You get one groin injury, you out of it. They have no respect for Tyler, B. He strained his right nut. He got to go.
God damn.
Poor guy. But this is a great move for the Heat. This is it. Like we was just talking about Lowry, right after the game saying the wrong thing. But this is that big move, that big hoist that puts you even a step closer to closing out. So you get back to you expect to get to the conference, and now you can get to the chip. It would be a great deal, great move for them. But they smart because they're unloading And the guy you can't help a groin injury. You know what I mean? Like that's one of those inadvertent, stick by your man's side, not Miami. Pat Riley's still on that bull.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is. Big Bleacher Report puts out the report this morning, an hour or two before he got up there. Donovan Mitchell, Tyler Hero. What's your take on it?
Ain't no way. It ain't no way. Ain't no way. It ain't no way. For Tyler Hero and a draft pick, Donovan Mitchell, a perennial all-star. A perennial all-star. You can give us one player and a draft pick. Man, if y'all want Donovan Mitchell, y'all gonna have to give up more than one player. Miami got to give up more than one player. You got to give up Tyler Hero. You got to give up Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. You got to give up some players if you want Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has reached superstar status. You can't just give him up for one player. I'm sorry, and a draft pick. Ain't no way. That's not enough. It don't even match up. It's just not even possible.
See, the thing is, Mike, it's a scary thing because Pat Riley's involved. So I think it could happen rather quickly.
Could.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Watch. Yeah. It sucks. Okay. It's gonna happen because a white guy in Utah know what they're gonna do. They want a white star over there in Utah and a draft pick. This shit makes me sick. But this is exactly why you can't get mad at Kyle Lowry when he says what he says. Mm-hmm. Because they quick to trade your ass after a groin injury when the dude was averaging 21 in the playoffs. That's why I see they both sides is messed up in these situations. Like they ready to watch. Pat Riley will wind up getting effing Donovan Mitchell and then pull something off to get Joel Embiid. And then whatever, man. I'm sick. Whatever. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell is gonna be in Miami. Watch. Mark my words, y'all.
Yeah, I think so too.
Watch.
And I think Tyler Hero is going to be a star in Utah. Rodney Perry, what's your take on this, bro? How you feel about this?
It seems like a racial trade. And I know nobody wants to hear this, but man, Tyler Hero is trying to go home, to the white motherland, and Donovan Mitchell trying to get down in the strip clubs in Miami, man. So it's a situation where
Oh man.
I mean, I like Donovan Mitchell. I don't think he's gonna move the needle for the Miami Heat. I just don't think he is. I think it's almost I mean, I don't think he's as good as Fig says he is. Maybe that's better.
Wow.
I mean, no disrespect, Fig. What I'm saying is he's not a perennial all-star. He's just real good.
Right. Rodney Perry,
he's good.
Tell me Rodney Perry ain't bugging because Donovan Mitchell with Jimmy Butler in the backcourt, I think they're guaranteed.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Guaranteed.
I think that's a guarantee. That's why I said it's like if you always look at how far you got the last time. So if you got to a game 7 and that it came down to one game before you go to the championship and you make that kind of move, you're damn near guaranteed to overcome game 7. Now you may go another 7 in the chip.
You got to get back. You got to get back first. You might not never get back to that.
But you got to figure if all the pieces are in play, minus Tyler because you swapped out for Donovan Mitchell, he's better than you may think he is. Trust me.
Donovan Mitchell lose too.
He's with Utah.
But look at his team.
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler, will you tell Rodney Perry Fig backcourt with Donovan Mitchell and Jimmy Butler with the stats he got is not going to. They could go to, and I'm a Celtics fan. I think that backcourt could beat the Celtics.
Where's Mitchell playing now?
Playing on Utah right now.
Utah.
He's on Utah.
Somebody find out how many times Donovan Mitchell made the All-Star team. He's only been in the league since 2017.
I got you. Right.
He's been in the All-Star game at least 3 times. 3 out of the 5 years he's been there at least 3 times. Yeah, but this dude is next level.
Okay, so you mean it's guaranteed too? You think?
Oh my God! If Donovan Mitchell goes down there with Jimmy Butler and that
3-time All-Star.
He's been in the All-Star 3 times. So that means his first 2 years he didn't make it as a rookie and he didn't make it as a sophomore year. But every year after that, He's been in the All-Star game. Donovan Mitchell is next level. If he goes down there with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and them
I think
dogs
you just
down
like
in
saying next level.
Miami, they gonna be some serious contenders. But I don't know what you're talking about, Rodney. I swear to
You
God.
just like you
Donovan
like saying
Mitchell is
next
that
level.
dude.
You admit it.
Mike, talk to me. Tell me, isn't that backcourt one of the best backcourts in the league with Jimmy Butler and Donovan?
But damn about them. I'm stuck with Julius Randle. Shut up. Whatever, man.
Wait a minute, man.
No, like Pat Riley is like a nightmare, yo. The fact that
Yo.
he's like the Nick Nightmare. That's what he is right now, dog. That's gonna be crazy. Whatever. Just go to the next square, man.
All right, so Roddy, probably get
I
you the
can't
last.
do it.
You don't.
I
You
can't
don't
do it.
stick with the right. You don't. Donovan Mitchell and you just don't see it, huh?
No. I don't get me wrong. I like Donovan Mitchell. I just don't think it's going to be a fit. I mean, what nobody's talking about is there's unrest in that Miami Heat locker room. They work them guys very hard. That's why people don't want to go down there. Is because man, Pat Riley be working them like a high school team. Them guys got to run and do all type of run. They grown ass men. They trying to play professional basketball. They want to show up and play basketball. And Pat Riley got them boys running and shit. Donovan Mitchell
don't want them to run.
Huh?
It is basketball.
You don't want them to run because it's too hot.
No. Hear me out. Hear me out. Put me back in the middle. Hear me out. These are professionals. I've heard them talk about it. These are my guys. Okay?
Right, if you don't get out the middle.
No, hear me out. Y'all keep moving me out my square prematurely.
Back in the middle.
Let me buzz. Okay?
Now I'm covering my screen. You gotta be kidding me. You said, let me bust.
What I'm saying is you got a lot of guys do not want to go to Miami for the dude. Let's not forget 3 weeks ago they was arguing amongst themselves. Right?
That's a fact.
They was ready to kick Jimmy Butler's ass out of Miami. Okay? Jimmy Butler cold.
You play pretty good.
And you got to be a special guy to play with him.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell is that guy. That's my point.
He'll make him better. Let me tell you this. Let me say this. You right about the culture down there, but it's a winning culture. I mean, you know what I mean? These guys have gotten guys off of damn near the garbage heap, and then they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals of the NBA. They ain't got no big. The only name they got over there is Jimmy Butler. Everybody else is just like they like other guys. Everybody else over there could possibly be sitting on the bench of some of these other teams. There ain't nobody else on that bench could be a starter on these next two teams. Nobody on that bench should be a starter in Boston, and nobody else on that bench would be a starter in Golden State. Nobody, none of them dudes.
I hope Pat Riley starts losing his hair.
Bam Adebayo.
With the exception of possibly Bam Adebayo.
Let me get the last.
That's the only other one.
Because the time is moving. I want to get this last topic and then throw it up to you, T. I'm gonna start with you. Aaron Donald has been he went on the podcast over the weekend, and they got released and everything else. And Aaron Donald, people are saying that he's probably going to retire. He wants $30 million. He wants anywhere between $27 and $30 million a year right now. And he said on the podcast he could retire right now because he's all set. Do you think it'd be a travesty if Aaron Donald from the Rams, who just got the Super Bowl with the Rams, do you think it'd be a travesty if he retires? Do you think he's going to get that money? What's your thoughts on this? Is this a negotiating ploy for him? Or what's your thought on this?
Well, absolutely. I think it's a negotiating point. That's first of all. But these things backfire all the time, bro. I'll be honest with you. Keep playing, and you find yourself somewhere you don't want to be. But I think it's definitely this is where we are right now. You get to the end, and they try to get as much as they can. And here's the thing about money. Been there, done that 3 times. Where you think you set for life, you're not. You're not. When you got to keep funneling money out and nothing's coming in, that's a different ballgame. It's easy when you go through life is good. I could do this. I ain't got to show up. I don't need this. I don't need that. It's different when you fully stop down and nothing coming in, but everything keep going out. That mortgage keep going out. That oil bill, that car, everything you got keep going out. So sometimes you think you financially scared and not really set for life because you ain't really think about it. Side note real quick, I just want to send a rest in peace shout out to Jeff Gladney. That's the cornerback who just died early yesterday in the wee hours of the morning Monday. He's a cornerback for the Arizona Cardinals, only 25 years old. Wow. Car crash.
Oh,
So rest in peace, NFL.
oh,
Well,
man.
thank you for that, T, because we were going to come to that. So let me jump throw it to you.
You said the last one. I thought this was the last. Or my bad.
Fig, what's your take on this? Since he said that, I won't even give you a little bit more time. Fig, what's your take on this, man? Do you think this is a negotiating ploy? Because I will say this, bro. Rather quick, I'll say this rather quickly. He's supposed to be the second best interior lineman to ever play the game.
Yeah, and he makes an impact all season long on the defensive end of the ball. Aaron Donald could be the reason why the Rams won their Super Bowl, because he disrupts every offense he plays against. And maybe he could walk away. I looked up his net worth. Aaron Donald is worth $60 million. Unless you are damn fool, you can buy your house, you can buy your car, and you can invest some of that money and be set for the rest of your life. Anybody that able to spend up $60 million and you can't live the rest of your life off of that, you're a damn fool. Aaron Donald is financially set. $60 million ain't nothing to sneeze at. I'll take it.
Fig, there's a couple of players who play for the Celtics, like a name Antoine Walker, who went through 120 million. So
that's because he was playing blackjack with Michael Jordan.
He's a damn fool.
Exactly. I'm just saying there are people out there who will fall into that category. That's why I'm saying it. They fall into that category. Mike Sean, Aaron Donald, negotiating ploy. How you see it?
Football is the only sport that when these guys retire, I never complain. Like Megatron, when Barry said, it's a car crash every play. Like, I get it. Like, I don't get it. I don't even know what it is to experience something like that. I mean, I think the Rams will do everything they can. I think they'll throw all the money they can at him. They'll structure the contract in a way where he'll be getting paid. They'll try and bring it down where they won't have to pay him the lump sum now, but he'll get it in 2 years or something like that. But if he retires, it retires. Shit. I mean, shoot. So my bad. I mean, I get it. These guys don't. If you ever hung out with a retired football player, they never look comfortable. They always got some type of limp or something if they play defense or offensive line. They like Hugh Douglas is out here. I was at the strip club with Hugh Douglas one time, a long time ago, Stacey. I was at the strip club and dog, dude is big as a house. But I'm telling you, I think he got 3 hip replacements. Like I understand. I get it.
Rodney Perry, bro. What's your take? Is this a negotiating?
It was a long time ago, Stacey.
A long time ago.
I doubt if it's a negotiating ploy. I mean, it's like Mike Sean said, which the sentiment I was going to echo is that, I mean, anytime a football player, especially a lineman, can walk away from the game with his faculties, he should go. But how about this? Aaron Donald just signed with Kanye's company, Donda Sports. I think he's looking to play by virtue of that, and it might be willing to let Kanye do his next deal, or Kanye's company at the very least. So I will look forward to them doing a deal for him.
Well, I would not be surprised if that does happen and everything else. But before we go, like Talent was saying, man, there was the Arizona cornerback who got killed. He was coming home from a party, 1:30 in the morning, got into a massive car accident. They didn't release anybody else's name. We got to shout him out too, man. And obviously prayers to his family, man. And you guys want to say something about this dude? Because this dude literally Arizona Cardinals were going to rely on him literally to play more defense this year. That's why they made a lot of moves in the backfield. Mike, what's your take on Arizona? You obviously, besides the depth, that's huge. But what's your take on how this affects Arizona Cardinals?
I mean, it's an incredible loss, and it's an incredible loss whenever. The older I get, the more I really realize when people would say when somebody loses their life at 20 in their 20s, how tragic that really is. And man, just prayers. And I don't think Arizona even has, if we're going to talk football, I don't think they have enough time to actually replace the loss of that guy. And obviously the family will never be able to replace that loss.
Yeah. Fig, 60 seconds.
My condolences to his family, man. Like you said, to lose somebody at the age of 25, man, their life is literally just beginning in a car crash. The sad thing about it is that a lot of these young people, they don't see their mortality. At that age, you feel invincible, and they take a lot of chances. Probably driving too fast on one of them super sports cars. Just sad, man. Tragic. My condolences to his family and his loved ones, man. It's a tragic loss all the way around.
Yeah, it definitely is. RP, what's your take? You got the last word.
Yeah, man, it's sad to lose a young man like this, man. And you know, when you when you are, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
My check.
I guess
Can
you
you hear
can't
me?
hear us.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, it's a sad day.
All right, so T, tell everybody out there how they can follow
It's
you,
a
man.
sad day when you lose a professional athlete.
I knew it.
You see,
Oh my God.
we send our condolences and prayers out to the young man and his family on today.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
He will be missed. The fabulous athlete had made it. His family, they were getting free tickets. I'm here to tell you today that the day is not promised. We don't know the hour. We don't know the minute or the second. All you can do is rest in his mighty hand. Blessings to the family. Amen.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Pastor.
You're not
Perry.
sorry. You're not sorry. But go ahead.
I'm really not, Pastor Perry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Pastor Perry. T, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
This is why I hate and love comedy, because it can make you laugh when you shouldn't be laughing, man.
Right?
Follow me, man. Talented comedian on Instagram. Caroline's tonight. One big show tonight, man. It's a big show happening at Caroline's. We almost sold out. Seek your boy out down there. And 4th of July weekend, the New York Kings are at Levity Live. So go on the website as well.
That's
Get them
gonna be
tickets.
crazy.
Come see the homies, man. Boom. Salute.
Fig.
Comedian Fig, all social media platforms, and I'll be attending the Right Reverend Perry's church this Sunday.
Mike.
Follow me at Rodney Perry did that.
And Pastor Perry, you got the last word. We can follow your sermons.
All jokes aside, man, that really saddened me. You know, we lost some people suddenly over the past few days, and I wish nothing but the best for his family, man, for real.
That's it, y'all. The show's called Box Seats. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to talk more about what's going on in the NFL. We're definitely going to do some more of the NBA preview. We're going to talk about what Golden State is doing and what they're looking forward to, because I heard a couple things about Golden State, too. I want to talk about that more, considering everybody said I'm doing the Celtics a little bit too much. You know
We'll be doing the first 20 minutes on the Boston Celtics.
Hey, the
So
Celtics-
everybody
the
get their
Celtics are
Boston
in the
Celtics
finals. You
information.
should do the Celtics every day.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
There's no reason why we shouldn't. It's the hottest topic out. Everybody else is doing it.
And you know what, Frank?
All
Frank, since y'all in the finals, you deserve it. Come with a fun fact that we may not know every day.
I gave you a couple today. You were like, shut up. Who cares about the stats?
No, not stats, fun facts.
A fun fact. And a fun fact. Shout out to Javante Davis for doing what he did this weekend. Shout out to him. You know, I'm a boxing fan. My goodness, that young man.
I didn't
right
get to
there.
that part. Yeah, that boy.
Hashtag glass jaw on the other Negro.
Ooh.
When you get knocked out on a shot, a left hook, and I'm not even throwing it. I'm about to leave. He was leaving the situation.
Yo, did you see the meme where he was hanging on the rope? Somebody said this is what you look like when you trying to plug your cell phone in behind the bed.
No, he walked into that punch like he was looking for an Uber.
Yo, we out. We'll see y'all tomorrow.